Got her. Hashtag yawn gang.
That was a big one.
Yeah. And she pre-gamed it too because she yawned before we started. And then I actually got her again. So.
It's been a day.
Has it been a day? It's been a little frustrating.
I mean, a little.
Okay.
Maybe.
Well, I'm sure your day's not as bad as Job here. You ready to learn more about Job?
Sure, honey. Why don't you teach me more about Job?
As far as like today goes, we're going to hear from the last of Job's friends. My note says Zoltar, which is the little prophet dude, not prophet, wizard. Fortune teller from Big.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently he's in the Bible. I didn't know. That's actually going to be on the thumbnail, I think. Just a Zoltar, and it's probably going to be Job looking like, because he's a little bitch. Anyways, if you don't remember last time, Bill's dad from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and the subsequent sequels, he actually threw in his 2 cents, and he basically just gave Job a lot of shit, and it caused Job to break down in like a really emo kind of bitch fit way.
First time.
No, but also Job knew everything that he was telling him, so I guess he was just frustrated or something. Kind of like one of those little kids that just throw a fit in the middle of a supermarket and just go no bones in the middle of it and start frantically throwing their arms about like they're playing Human Fall Flat.
Okay.
Anyways, so today we're hearing from Zoltar, who should know what he's talking about considering he's a fortune teller. Zoltar, huh?
That's not who it is.
Okay, well, whatever. Zoltar is what's going on in my... So anyways, Zoltar is going to be giving Job some shit today with stuff that he already knows. He attempts to figure out why Job is being all that bitchy. And I can only imagine Job sitting there in the ruins of his former life and then looking at Zoltar and being like, the fuck you think I am weeping about, bitch?
Look the fuck around. Yeah, read the room.
Read the room, Zoltar. God damn, you're a fortune teller? Anyways, Zoltar then wishes that Job had answers that he wanted, but ultimately, we really can't understand what God wants or what God is thinking or anything like that. So don't even try. Like, you just can't understand it.
But
You're
he's
not
got a
smart
plan.
enough. He's got a plan, and you got to remember God is good all the time.
And all the time God is good.
That's right, honey. Except for this time.
And the rest of the times.
Yeah. Zoltar then tells Job to devote himself to God, and God will end his suffering. But Job's like, bullshit, because I already know all this stuff, and I've been doing that. And God still is fucking my shit up, is basically what he says when he fires back. And Job has kind of a paranoia moment where he thinks all of his friends are pointing and laughing at him. I'm guessing it's kind of like a kid that, or like one of those dreams you have where you show up to school in your underwear and everybody points and laughs at you. It's that kind of situation with Job here.
Is that a thing that people really have?
I don't know. Maybe.
I've never had that dream.
Okay. I don't think I've had that dream either, but it's just something people say. One person had it, and then everybody's like, "I had it too."
That's how we got Christianity.
Yep, that's exactly. And then Job discusses how God does do good actions, but he also permits suffering, and even though in light of him controlling everything, he still allows suffering to happen. So really, it's all God's fault. Like God, there's nothing that God can't control. So anything that bad happens, anything that is bad that happens to you, God did it. Is basically what Job's whole message is here. God did it. Don't blame Satan, because you got to blame the man behind Satan, who is God. That's directly from the Bible.
Yeah.
Job needs answers for why God is fucking him over. And the responses from Job's friends are just fucking useless. And Job ends up questioning God, which, as we know from before, is a big no-no. You don't question God shit. He asks if he's being charged with a sin or not. Kind of like if he's stopped by a police officer and he's like, am I being charged with a crime? Then you can let me go.
What did you pull me over for? They have to tell you.
Yeah. So basically, it's the same situation. Job is in custody of God, and he's like, am I being charged with a sin, huh, bitch? If not, you gotta let me go. Quit fucking with me.
But I mean, God doesn't have the same rules as cops. He doesn't have tell him why.
Yeah, true. God then, just sort of repeating himself now, I guess, ask what sins is he committed. Of course, God doesn't have a list of sins he's committed because this is actually a bet that he made with Satan. And then Job talks about how life is fleeting, and then he also talks about how God decides how long people live. So, that works both ways. I mean, if God's going to allow someone to live 120 years or so, God's also responsible for that baby that, had cancer and died like months after they were born. I guess that's just a cruel joke by God, maybe. I'm not sure.
It's not fucking funny.
Huh?
It's not funny.
It's not funny. And my condolences to anybody out there that's lived through that. But this is what the Bible says. People only live once, and other things live more than once, apparently.
I mean, you can regrow celery from the ass end of the celery.
Yeah, but I mean, that's a lot like Deadpool's regeneration thing. Like Deadpool can regenerate just from a head, not necessarily his ass end, but I mean, he can regenerate his whole body. Like that happened to Deadpool too. He blew himself up and then he regenerated his entire body just from his head.
Weird.
Yeah. There are other superheroes like that too. The Hulk is also like that. He can regenerate. He actually can just regenerate from like a puddle of goo.
What?
Yeah, he could fully regenerate just from being a puddle of goo.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So did they like inject themselves with starfish guts or something?
No, I mean it's just like a genetic thing. Like they have unlimited regeneration, and it's just sort of a genetic superpower kind of thing, similar to the starfish deal. And I guess similar to celery. But anyways, he painfully explains how people do not resurrect, but the only hope that they have is resurrection. And then Job asks God to be put in sort of like a cryogenic stasis until God's sober enough to not be a dick. In the meanwhile, Job is going to sit there and suffer and just be a little bitch about it. The end of the Bible study.
No.
It's a pretty good one today, huh?
It's not the end of the Bible study.
We learned a lot of things, though.
We learned some interesting ideas you have there.
Oh, okay. So we got to go over it still?
Yep, just like normal.
What's up, heathens?
How y'all doing?
I think Casey really likes that a bit. Because she starts smiling every time I start to say, "What's up, heathen?"
Everybody likes that.
Most people like it. There are some people who's like, that's just too cringy.
Okay. Thank you for your interest in Godless Engineer.
Be sure to have a Disney day.
Right. So just so y'all know, after we finished the intro and before we did the opening thing, the tagline thing, instead of where we normally like chit chat about all the shit he got wrong, we just had a dance party because there was just no point and not enough time to go over all of it. So
it was interpretive dance. So really imagine the Trump dance where he's, double fisting a couple dicks. And it's like, you got a lot of shit wrong. You got a lot of shit wrong. There's no cryogenic stasis.
Also, it's not Zoltar. But we're going to go over what it really is. Are you ready?
Oh, I am totally ready. My butthole's puckered.
Okay, we're going to start with Job 11 and go all the way through Job 14.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to do that today. And the past couple weeks, we've talked about his response. A few weeks ago, his 3 friends came to visit, right? Well, I should say a few episodes ago because it's not weeks like in the Bible, but a few episodes ago, his friends come to visit. And these past 2 weeks, we've had 2 of the friends response, like their advice to him, right?
Yeah, so the first one was Eliphaz.
Eliphaz.
And then Bildad.
And then Bildad. And now Zoltar.
Zoltar.
Damn it.
I got it.
Zophar. Like Jafar, but
Ooh, Jafar's in this?
No. Damn it. So Zophar is a Namathite. Namathite, yes. That's what it is.
I kind of feel like that's a cousin to the fawn. Naamathite.
Well, it might not be nay. It might be a Baal. Nay. N-A-A-M-A-T-I-A-N. Shit. N-A-A-M-A-T-H-I-T-E.
Naamathite. It's the meth-addicted version of the fawns.
Anyway, we're going to start off with his... this is going to be his response, his advice to Job. You ready?
I am totally ready.
All right. Then Zophar, the damn it,
the
Naamathite.
meth-addicted Fonzie.
Naamathite replied, are these words to go unanswered? Is this talker to be vindicated? Will your idle talk reduce others to silence? Will no one rebuke you when you mock? You say to God, my beliefs are flawless and I am pure in your sight. Oh, how I wish God would speak, that he would open his lips against you and disclose to you the secrets of wisdom. For true wisdom has two sides. Know this, God has even forgotten some of your sin.
I thought God was like an elephant. He don't forget.
I mean, unless he wants to, I suppose.
Yeah. Can you imagine somebody up there at the pearly gates and God's like, I feel like I'm missing something, but I just don't. And it's like you're sitting there sweating and hoping he doesn't remember that one time you fondled yourself in the corner. And
I mean, he'll have a file. Like, they write all this down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He definitely has a file. Also, it's Peter at the gate.
Is it Peter? Okay.
Anyway, so basically Zophar tells Job, I don't know. He seems kind of pissy. Like, he seemed kind of pissed off at Job a little bit to me. And he wants God to tell Job what he did, so that Job will stop his bitching, essentially. Yeah?
Yeah. So basically it kind of went like, Jesus fucking Christ, would you just tell him what he did already? I'm tired of hearing this shit.
Okay, so he continues. Can you fathom the mysteries of God? Can you probe the limits of the Almighty? They are higher than the heavens above. What can you do? They are deeper than the depths below. What can you know? Their measure is longer than the earth and wider than the sea.
Oh yeah, probe those depths.
No, you probe. Wait, we're probing limits.
Yeah, probe those limits.
Anyway, basically, God is bigger and more almighty and more than you can fathom. So, like, you're nothing, essentially, to him. Not that you're nothing to him, but you're not going to get anywhere here. Like, you're not going to win this fight. If you're going to fight with him, he's going to win.
Right. You're definitely going to need the meatloaf safe word.
If he comes along and confines you in prison and convenes a court, who can oppose him? Surely he recognizes deceivers, and when he sees evil, does he not take note? But the witless can no more become wise than a wild donkey's colt can be born human. Okay.
All right. So yeah, donkeys can't shit out humans.
Well, so you remember last time, I think it was last time, it might have been the time, I cannot remember. Job is like incessantly whining, but he asked for like an advocate.
Yeah.
Like for between him and God. And so basically his friend here, Zophar, is saying if God brings you to court, you can't oppose him, right?
Yeah. I don't think that's how court works, but all right.
I mean, not regular, but God's court can do anything. It's like, I don't know, Judge Judy on steroids.
Yeah, except make a cult shit out of human.
No. Well, I mean, I guess he could do that, but like God could do that if he wanted to, I suppose,
Could he?
right? Well, I mean,
if he has unlimited power, I would think so.
Yet, if you devote your heart to him and stretch out your hands to him, if you put away the sin that is in your hand and allow no evil to dwell in your tent, then, free of fault, you will lift up your face. You will stand firm without fear. You will surely forget your trouble, recalling it only as waters gone by. Life will be brighter than noonday and darkness will become like morning. You will be secure because there is hope. You will look about you and take your rest in safety. You will lie down with no one to make you afraid, and many will court your favor. But the eyes of the wicked will fail and escape will elude them. Their hope will become a dying gasp. So basically the whole point of the beginning part is to say you cannot oppose God.
Right.
What you need to do is devote yourself to him, stop fucking questioning, put away the sin in your hand, which is he wants to know, what has he done?
Right.
Did you just say your dick?
The sin in your hand. I mean, never mind. Anyways, go ahead.
And if he raises himself to God, then God will stop the suffering and make him prosperous and, wise and whatever else, right? Everything will be good. Supposedly. So Job, in Job fashion, has to reply. You ready?
Yeah, I'm totally ready.
Doubtless you are the only people who matter, and wisdom will die with you. But I have a mind as well as you. I am not inferior to you. Who does not know all of these things? Bitch. I just felt like a bitch needed to be on the end of that. I have become a laughingstock to my friends, though I called on God and he answered, a mere laughingstock. Though righteous and blameless, those who are at ease have contempt for misfortune, as the fate of those whose feet are slipping. The tents of marauders are undisturbed, and those who provoke God are secure. Those God has in his hand.
Okay.
So he's saying, I already know all the shit you're saying right now. Mm-hmm. But I'm righteous and I've done nothing, which he keeps claiming. He keeps saying that, but I think his friends don't agree because I think that they're saying if you sin, he'll come after you.
Yeah, I feel like his friends are like, dude, don't you remember that one time with that thing?
I know that it stays in Vegas, but God's there too.
God sees all.
Okay, so he's a laughing stock of his friends. But Job is saying God is leaving all these other bad fucking people alone. Why is he messing with me? And he wants to know, and I feel like that's fair, but his friends are saying, no. Don't question him because you can't come up against him. You're not going to get what you want. Just pray to him and praise him and everything will be fine.
I feel like this was created as like a theological lesson on why God bad shit to his children. And it's basically like, well, listen, you're really not all that sorry. So just, keep praising the Lord and one day he'll stop playing.
Glass houses and all. Okay, so Job continues, but ask the animals and they will teach you, or the birds in the sky and they will tell you, or speak to the earth and it will teach you, or let the fish in the sea inform you. Which of all these does not know that the hand of the Lord has done this? In his hand is the life of every creature and the breath of all mankind. Does not the ear test words as the tongue tastes food? Is not wisdom found among the aged? Does not long life bring understanding? To God belong wisdom and power, counsel and understanding are his. What he tears down cannot be rebuilt. Those he imprisons cannot be released. If he holds back the waters, there is drought. If he lets them loose, they devastate the land. To him belong strength and insight. Both deceived and deceiver are his. He leads rulers away stripped and makes fools of judges. He takes off the shackles put on by kings and ties a loincloth around their waist. He leads priests away stripped and overthrows officials long established. He silences the lips of trusted advisors and takes away the discernment of elders. He pours contempt on nobles and disarms the mighty. He reveals the deep things of darkness and brings utter darkness into light. He makes nations great and destroys them. He enlarges nations and disperses them. He deprives the leaders of the earth of their reason. He makes them wander in a trackless waste. They grope in darkness with no light. He makes them stagger like drunkards. So
nice.
Essentially, God has providential control over all.
Everything.
Yes.
Don't even question.
The good and the bad.
And the ugly I'm talking about is nature. Nature can be quite ugly. Like as far as, being brutal and stuff.
Sure. I know what you mean. Okay. So Job is saying God permits suffering. God not only permits, but this as he continues through chapter 12, not only does he permit it, he's making it happen. He's the one in control. All control. Okay. All right, let's move into 13. You ready? Mm-hmm. My eyes have seen all this. My ears have heard and understood it. What you know, I also know. I am not inferior to you, but I desire to speak to the Almighty and argue my case with God. You, however, smear me with lies. You are worthless physicians, all of you. If only you would be altogether silent. For you, that would be wisdom. Jesus.
Shut the fuck up, because that would be better.
You know what the smartest thing you've ever done is? Not fucking talk. To show people how fucking stupid you are. I mean, this is a pretty big diss here. Yeah. He's telling his friends you're useless. They're the only people who came to him. Mm-hmm. And he really doesn't appreciate it because they're telling him, don't question God. And he's like, I fucking know, but I want to. And I'm gonna. Right? Hear now my argument and listen to the pleas of my lips. Will you speak wickedly on God's behalf? Will you speak deceitfully for him? Will you show him partiality? Will you argue the case for God? Would it turn out well if he examined you? Could you deceive him as you might deceive a mortal? He would surely call you to account if you secretly showed partiality. Would not his splendor terrify you? Would not the dread of him fall on you? Your maxims are proverbs of ashes. Your defenses are defenses of clay. Keep silent and let me speak. Then let come to me what may. Why do I put myself in jeopardy and take my life in my hands? Though he slay me, yet will I hope in him. I will surely defend my ways to his face. Indeed, this will turn out for my deliverance. For no godless person would dare come before him. Listen carefully to what I say. Let my words ring in your ears. Now that I have prepared my case, I know I will be vindicated. Can anyone bring charges against me? If so, I will be silent and die. So much drama.
All the drama is what he has. Fuck.
So he basically says, I know what you're saying, but I'm going to do what I need to do because all of the answers you're trying to give me are not adequate. I want to talk to him and make my case to God. And so that's what he plans to do. So are you ready for that?
Oh, definitely. Totally.
Only grant me two things, God. Then I will not hide from you. Withdraw your hand far from me and stop frightening me with your terrors. Then summon me and I will answer, or let me speak and you reply to me. How many wrongs and sins have I committed? Show me my offense and my sin. Why do you hide your face and consider me your enemy? Will you torment a windblown leaf? Will you chase after dry chaff? For you write down bitter things against me and make me reap the sins of my youth. Oh, so he was a shithead when he was a kid. That's most kids.
Okay.
You fasten my feet in shackles. You keep close watch on all my paths by putting marks on the soles of my feet. So man wastes away like something rotten, like a garment eaten by moths. Yeah.
That's nasty. Death by moths?
Well, no, a garment. It's not like moths eat people. They eat clothes. That's why you put mothballs in like when you're storing clothes long term. Put mothballs in there.
Yeah, I got you.
If moths are able to get to your clothing.
Mm-hmm. Like in Cruella. There's this one scene in Cruella where she makes this really spectacular looking dress.
Yeah.
But it was really just a whole bunch of like
shit ton of moths.
Yeah.
That was very cool.
Yeah, that was ingenious.
Mm-hmm. Mortals, born of a woman, are of few days and full of trouble. They spring up like flowers and wither away, like fleeting shadows they do not endure. Do you fix your eye on them? Will you bring them before you for judgment? Who can bring what is pure from the impure? No one. A person's days are determined. You have decreed the number of his months, and have set limits he cannot exceed. So look away from him and let him alone till he has put in his time like a hired laborer. This is a really bleak outlook on life.
Yeah, it really is.
Like, while I think we all understand that life is limited, right? We only have so long. We don't know how long that is, generally speaking. Apparently God knows and has determined that and decided how long will live. But I just think it's interesting because he's like, just leave me alone. Like, just look away and let him alone until he puts his time in like a hired laborer. It's almost like your time here on earth is like a labor camp or like something that you have to get through. And it's terrible.
Yeah, which I think is part of how at least Christian theology in some aspects devalues human life. Because, I mean, like, especially in Christianity, because you've got this eternity afterwards that you're working towards.
Yeah.
And if you just look at, like, the value of each,
yeah,
like, the fact that the afterlife is eternal makes this life really insignificant, is what it seems like.
Sure, but since it's the only, like, we don't know things before. So, like, our consciousness doesn't exist before. Right? And so this is what we know. So this seems significant to us while we're here.
Well, and for us being atheists, I mean, it's significant always.
Well, sure. But like for religious people who, typically Christians who are, or even typically Christians who are working towards getting to heaven, this is, I don't know, maybe their chance to prove that they are worthy of that or something. I don't know. Anyway, put in his time like a hired labor. You ready to continue?
Yes.
At least there's hope for a tree. If it is cut down, it will sprout again, and its new shoots will not fail. I mean, sometimes they do. Have you ever tried to regrow something from a sprout? Doesn't always work.
Just the one time I ran over a shrub.
That worked for you, though.
Yeah.
That thing is just as big as the other ones around it now. I'm still disappointed. Like that. I mean, I know my parents aren't moving now, but when they were, I really wanted to go and get that bush and bring it here and plant it here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Somewhere where you can't run over it.
Oh, all right.
Again. Its roots may grow old in the soil, its roots may grow old in the ground and its stump die in the soil. Yet the scent of water it will bud and put forth shoots like a plant. But a man dies and is laid low. He breathes his last and is no more. As the water of a lake dries up or a riverbed becomes parched and dry, so he lies down and does not rise. Till the heavens are no more, people will not awake or be roused from their If only you would hide me in the grave and conceal me till your anger has passed. If only you would set me a time and then remember me. If someone dies, will they live again? All the days of my hard service, I will wait for my renewal to come. You will call and I will answer you. You will long for the creature your hands have made. Surely then you will count my steps, but not keep track of my sin. My offenses will be sealed up in a bag, and you will cover over my sin. So it seems like what he wants to do, which we already know from previous weeks, is he wants to die.
Right.
But he wants God to basically kill him off until God's not pissed anymore or figures his shit out and then bring him back.
Right.
Resurrect him.
Right. Resurrect him, which I kind of feel like, I don't think that we've heard this before in the Old Testament. The idea of God resurrecting the faithful dead.
Not in this context.
No. But I mean, I feel like this is exactly what, like in the New Testament, they're talking with the resurrection. Mm-hmm. Because, there's the whole idea that, once you die, you're waiting for Judgment Day so that you can be resurrected just like Jesus got resurrected.
Set me a time and then remember me.
Right.
And then he waits for his renewal. Then God will call to him and he will answer. And then his offenses will be sealed up in a bag and it'll be over.
Yeah. I feel like this is watching a Harry Potter movie and then seeing all the little hints and everything like that in the early movies that, factor in.
Oh, like when later. You rewatch it?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I find that when I rewatch a lot of movies, I'm like, oh yeah, look at that. Because now that I know at the end, you can see, hindsight's 20/20. That's what that is. Mm-hmm. Okay. But as a mountain erodes and crumbles, and as a rock is moved from its place, as water wears away stones and torrents wash away the soil, so you destroy a person's hope. Apparently that's what he's doing to Job right now.
I mean, honestly, if you were like focus of all of God's wrath, it seems to him, I would feel hopeless too.
Sure. I mean, I'm sure shit sucks right now for him. You overpower them once and for all, and they are gone. You change their countenance and send them away. If their children are honored, they do not know it. If their offspring are brought low, they do not see it. They feel but the pain of their own bodies and mourn only for themselves. So in the meantime, until God either looks away from Job or kills him, Job is just going to suffer and be sorrowful.
Yep. Fuck you, Job.
Anyway, that's the end of today's Bible study. That's the end of chapter 14.
Okay.
We're going to continue next with chapter 15.
All right.
And Eliphaz is going to be very upset.
Oh no, not Eliphaz.
Eliphaz is going to be very upset that Job questioned God. And he's going to tell him about that. Let's see. He's going to tell him all about it. And then Job, of course, is going to respond and tell him how his speeches give him no relief and how devastated God has made his life. He also is going to continue to maintain his innocence, right? Because he keeps saying that he's innocent. He hasn't done anything. And so he's going to talk about that. He's again going to ponder on the idea of having an advocate.
Right.
His friends are going to mock him. Again, yeah. So that's what's going to happen next time. And then the time after that, we're going to hear from Bildad again. So we're going to go back through the friend set again.
Man, a bleak outlook for Job.
Yeah.
Sucks for him. All right. Well, heathens, if you guys want to figure out what Eliphaz has for us next time, then you'll have to tune in next week. Maybe. I don't know. The next week's going to be actually Christmas week. So we may throw a curveball in there and do something weird for next week as far as Christmas goes. Or we may not do anything. So just tune in next week if we're here. But anyways, if you guys will, please go down below and leave a comment. Let us know what you think about Job and his bitching. We always love seeing all of the responses down in the comments section. And while you're down there, why don't you smash that like button and subscribe if you like atheist Bible studies like this.
In the meantime, don't forget to stand up and use your voice.
Bye, heathens.
Bye, y'all.